personal experience. Is it worth starting to invest through a broker now? Investing became a natural extension of financial responsibility. In 2025, it's becoming strange not to think about investments. Even among those who previously saved for a rainy day, only in cash or on a card, the topic of investing has ceased to be exotic. Against the backdrop of currency fluctuations, housing prices and commodity costs, attention to the stock market is no longer just a trend. It's more of a necessity. For me, it all started out of curiosity. I opened an account, tested the demo a little, and off I went. ETFs, stocks, forex. I chose the platform almost by chance, although I was guided by convenience. I've been using Turf Capital Private for several months now, and despite some issues, I continue to do so. A simple start and minimal bureaucracy. What pleasantly surprised me was the registration and verification process on turfcp.com, which went smoothly. No endless scans of documents, no waiting for days, or strange calls from personal managers. Everything was simple, almost one click. The platform isn't overloaded with unnecessary features. It has a concise interface, clear buttons, minimalism in a good sense. When you're just starting out, that's important, so you don't get lost in terminology or click the wrong thing. A decent range of instruments, but without excess. I'll say up front, it doesn't have everything. But everything you need for basic and intermediate strategies is there. Currencies, main stocks, a few indexes, metals. For those who trade manually and follow the news, it's enough. However, compared to large platforms that even offer exotic derivatives and third-tier bonds, the selection here is more modest. Nevertheless, considering reasonable spreads and the terminal's technical stability, Turf Capital Private confidently holds its niche. There are downsides, and it's worth knowing them in advance. I can't ignore some nuances that personally bothered me. First, the Turf Capital Private website, despite being stable and clear, looks visually outdated. In 2025, you want something more modern and adaptive, especially if the platform targets young investors. Second, there's occasionally a lack of advanced analytics. Basic reviews are available, but deep analytical materials, especially localized for our region, are almost non-existent. You have to look for external sources. Third, there is no mobile app. It's not critical, but in today's reality, where many trade on the go, it feels strange. Most competitors have had this option as a standard for a long time. And finally, the support service response. Generally, they reply, but not always quickly. Sometimes there are delays, especially on weekends or late evenings. Here, you want a bit more flexibility, like some other brokers, where you can get an answer literally in a couple of minutes. Nevertheless, it's usable, even comfortable. Despite the noted downsides, Turf Capital Private remains, for me, a platform where you can calmly make trades, track your portfolio, and slowly build expertise. The main functions work reliably. One pleasant aspect is the absence of pressure. Some brokers like to push training, managers, signals. Here, none of that. Want to learn yourself? Go ahead. Want to just trade? That's fine too. This freedom appeals to me. For those who want to start without fuss or noise. If you're just thinking about investing but don't want to dive straight into complicated charts, Turf Capital Private can be a good starting point. Yes, there are things that could and should be improved, but at its core, access, fair terms, and a calm working environment, the platform delivers. Sometimes less is more, especially when it comes to money.